Hello crafters, it's Tammy, and I dreamed up a Halloween project that I wanted to share with you today. I've listed a new Halloween image bundle in my shop, and I wanted to make something with it. So what we're going to do, we're going to be using some simple cupcake liners and crepe paper, and we're going to make rosettes. Now you guys, this is like the best base that you can make so many cute ornaments with. So I'm going to share with you the new images I designed. We'll go over all the details with that, and we're going to be using some of those coffee dyed scraps that we made last week. I gathered up my orange and black Halloween bits and bobs. As always, all the supplies that I'll be using today will be linked below this video. Now let's get started with these Halloween inspired cupcake liner rosettes. Any cupcake liner works. For Halloween, I decided to go with black and the natural. And I'm going to use 2 blacks and 2 of these natural colored ones. Okay, so I noticed when I was cutting these that when I put a lighter color on top, I could see it better than the black liner. So we're going to go with that. Grab your scissors. I'm going to hold these together with my thumb here, and I'm going to do a snip, maybe about a ½ inch apart, all the way around the pleated part of the cupcake liner, going right into that line where the circle begins in the center. Okay, so we're going to take this all the way around. Wrinkle up on me there. I actually, at my neighbor's garage sale, I found a 4-foot Christmas tree for $5. So I'm kind of in the process of getting some Halloween lights all over that. And I wanted some ornaments to really cover that for a really crazy Halloween tree. When I get it all finished, I'll do a video on it and share it with you. I have some vintage stuff too that I'm going to be adding to it. Okay, so all the way around, and that's it. Okay, you can kind of see where this is going. So what I did was, right, I laid this one down and I turned this one the opposite way. This made it a little bit fluffier, I thought. Okay, we'll add another black one here, and I'll lay this one right here. You can do 2 things here. You can grab your glue gun and put a dot of glue right in the center, and then just stack these on each other. Or you can grab a stapler and staple them together. You just kind of want to get everything stuck together here in one piece. This is pretty simple. Okay, grab some cardstock. Any cardstock works. I used my 2-inch circle punch, punched out a bunch of circles just so I had them on hand. Let's get that glue gun back again. And the 2-inch circle fits perfect in the center right there. Okay, so this is getting our little rosette started up here, but we're going to take it to a couple different steps, a couple new levels here. So you can go around and kind of scrunch it up a little, makes it a little fluffier and cute. Okay, so let's flip this over. This is just baker's twine. And do a little loop here. Okay, so we got a hanger. Okay, and then bringing our glue gun back in. I'm just going to lay the hanger right there in that glue. Okay. All right, let's let that dry. All right, so you can take another one of your circles, glue it on here, and you've just made a perfect little rosette for, you know, whatever ornament you want. I'm going to take this just up a notch, and we're going to do that with some crepe paper. So, got some orange. I'm going to cut 2 oranges, probably just like 12 inches. You know, you can decide how much you want hanging down. And I added a piece of gold in here too. All right, let's stack this all on top of each other. I just went in and evened out my ends. I don't even know if that's really necessary, but I just thought, oh, what the heck. You just even it all out here. Okay, straight. All right, we're going to cut this way, and it's just easier when you fold all this together instead of trying to cut those really long pieces. Okay, and cut it down the center. So now we've got some nice little strips here to work with. And let's start putting these together. So here's an orange, a black. I'm just going to stack these kind of on top of each other right here. Another orange, and you can kind of fan out just a little bit too. Let's do a gold. Right. Black, and see they're fanned out just a little bit. Let me see, what have I got? 2 black, 2 orange. Let me put in another orange. Like I said, you can really make this as full as you want to with these strips. Put a gold on top there. All right, let's just move those out of the way. Grab a stapler and put them together. Let's bring our rosette back out. Back in with a little glue. Make sure I'm going to line up in a straight line here with my hanger, so everything's going to hang nice and straight. Another circle. That's why I cut a bunch of them out at first, because I didn't have to stop. All right. Finish the back off on that nicely. Okay, let's flip it over. And although this looks really pretty as is, here's what I did, because I thought this is Halloween, it's like grungy. So I just grabbed all of my crepe papers and just gave them a little squeeze. And then, isn't that just the cutest? Right? Okay, so we've just made the cutest medallion here. I'm going to add, just because I was just in love with this, this is one of those coffee dyed paper doilies that we did last week. If you missed that video where we made the grungy Halloween coffee dyed and orange dyed paper, I linked that below for you. So you can go watch that if you want to coffee dye anything. And let's lay this in the center here. And oh my goodness, is that not just the cutest? Okay, you can do so many things with this. You know, if you had like the number 31 here, or something for like first place, you know, for a Halloween costume contest or something like that. So I'm loving this. This is a good base for an ornament. We are going to pull out those new images that I want to share with you. And I'm going to show you some ways I layered them up on this medallion. Let me show you this image bundle really quick. Okay, this is the witching hour. This is paper only. Okay, this is just images that come in this bundle, not any of the accessories. So just the paper. And in there we have that old black magic, and I put the cat on top, of course, because I love cats. And we have the vintage doll wearing her witch hat. She's haunted moons. Here's a witching hour crow wearing his top hat, holding a pumpkin. We have a really, like an old-fashioned kind of witch here. She comes together really cute. And in the back, I put some cute little things in there as a little thank you. Just you can do some little crafts with that. So, like I said, this is images only. This comes to you in the 5x7 first class mail, okay? So it really saves on shipping, and I really like that because it keeps it down to like an envelope price, okay? So the link to that is in the description below the video. So let's get ready. Let's cut out everything and let's do the cat first. To prepare my images, I used my Cutter Bee scissors, just cut everything out and grabbed some distress ink. This one is the Vintage Photo and just made that paper look a little bit better. Okay, you know we always do that. Always grab that distress ink out. All right, now I was wanting the image to be, you know, lifted up a little bit. All right, so it just kind of makes it look a little bit better when it's not like smashed on. I've got these little wooden discs here. You can use a couple of buttons. You could use those sticky dots, just whatever you have. And just something to give this a little bit of lift away from the back. Okay, so just like that. And you see he's going to sit up a little bit higher, which I think looks good. Okay, now let's layer this up. Isn't this pretty? I love this. I think we've used this before in other projects. I've got it in orange too. I'm going to use it in black today for our black cat. Let's lay that down. And then this is really, really pretty. This ruffled black. And I linked this for you so you can find it if it's something you'd like to have. Let's lay that right there. Now, I have tried like individually gluing these pieces down, but I found that if you just put a good dollop of hot glue on the back of this, okay, be mindful where your hanger is so everything's straight. Just lay him on here. That glue seeps through and will connect all of your layers together. Okay, and then we have that old black magic. Of course, you can add bows to this. You could just do whatever you have on hand. One of the things I really liked on this crepe paper, I have these confetti stars, and I put a dot of glue here and there. I'll just put a couple on just to show you. And this has such a great look to it on these streamers, these pretty gold stars. Okay, so here's our cat. Isn't it adorable? Now this gets a little crazy, so you know what? We're gonna do a trim on that. Just kind of take off those square edges. Okay, is that cute? All right, we'll do another one real quick. Okay, for our witching hour witch, I put her together sort of like an assemblage. And started out with, this is a piece of that paper doily that we dyed orange. I had a little scrap of it sitting there, so why not use it? Okay, and then I added the witch. This just kind of keeps everything all together. And then we have her clock. And you can put this together with any glue. I'm using the hot glue today just because when we're filming, it makes things a little quicker. Okay. All right, and then the witching hour tag. Okay. So on this one, let's see. I don't know. I'm really liking this. I think we should use it again. Here is the orange. Isn't that pretty? Well, let's use the orange. Since we already used the black one, let's use the orange one. Okay, I'm just going to lay that there. This is a piece of cheesecloth that we dyed last week. Let's lay that there. Stick to my fingers. All right, and the same as we did for the cat. I'm going to lift her up a bit with a disc, and I only have one on my table, so I would probably use two. And so I don't want to stop the video to go find another one. We'll just go with one right here. But this will lift her up. Okay. Once again, this glue should grab everything. Since it's just netting and paper, the glue's going to soak right through there. Okay. And I would do a little trim up on this tool. Okay, and I would probably just go crazy with stars. Oh, here's a little skeleton key. Let's add that. A skeleton key for the witching hour. She can wind her clock. Here's one that I had finished just to show you. This one didn't have a doily behind it, and you can see how it looks without the doily, without the paper doily. And this one has the stars and the key, and I also pulled out my gold stickles and just did a little touch up on the clock and on her necklace there. Okay, so, you know, these go together. This one here, basically same thing, just everything was just kind of layered on. You could add whatever you like in your layers. And then this one here, the witching hour with the, isn't that cute? With the little crow. And I also put some heavy gold chunky glitter around that. So you can bring in your glitter, bring in your stickles, glue stars all over everything. These are really a cute project. And let's bring my favorite one back, of course. My kitty cat. I'm going to do my Halloween tree, and I think I'm going to add this to the very top and let all this crepe paper streamers hang down. So there we go. It's cute. Thank you so much for crafting with me today. I hope that you found some inspiration, and I'll be sharing my Halloween tree real soon too. So I always appreciate a thumbs up, and I hope you will subscribe if you haven't already. Love you guys, and I will see you for our next creative project. Bye for now.